Right then, this is a quick walk around video and it's an absolutely beautiful car. This is a Lexus IS300 hybrid and it's the Premier model, top of the range car. Finished in this lovely gunmetal grey with the sort of silver grey leather interior, which is stunning contrast on the car. This car has covered just 25,000 miles from new and is in beautiful condition. 2013 car. You'll never believe this car was 11 years old. The mileage clearly helps with that and still looks fresh in its styling. Front of the car really nice and clean. Lights and lenses clear and intact. Bonnet, can't see any obvious stone chips there at all. There must be one on there, but I can't see one there immediately. Near side, passenger side, lovely and smooth in the panel work, really crisp. Near side front alloy, generally good, a little bit of light curbing. Over 11 years, you've got to have something. On the side rear alloy, actually very good. Any curbing, absolutely minimal. Still got that really striking modern look to it. I think it was the best styled of all its competitors at this time, but I am obviously very biased indeed. In the back, again, wonderfully clean. Offside, again, mirror smooth. I can't see any indentations there that are jumping out to me at all. This side, offside, sorry, rear alloy, very good indeed. And it's literally just been washed off, it's not even been polished. And it's got a nice look to the car. Then offside front alloy, again, minor curbing on the car, right on the outside edge of the rim. But in all honesty, it is a beautiful car. Let's come to the back of the car. Good sized boot on the vehicle, and obviously as you expect, in lovely condition, beautifully finished. Has the load liner, which is a nice sign of ownership on the car as well. It's coming into the back now with this gorgeous leather interior. Again, absolutely super condition. Coming on the passenger side, again, all very nice and clean. Footwell area is very clean indeed. There is a full set of Lexus mats for the car, which are just being cleaned off at the moment. They're clean, but they're just being cleaned off, but they will be with the car. Finally in the front, full card again, really nice. Footwell area is likewise. The driver's seat for the age of the car has done remarkably well actually. So inside the car now, engine as always is running this section, so the dash is illuminated. Absolutely stunning interior, and as you expect, in gorgeous condition. Sat nav, as you can see, functioning absolutely perfectly. Just pop the car into reverse in, you've got that rear parking camera likewise. Clevenson stereo, heated vented seats, electric sunroof on this car as well. It is absolutely stunning. Into the main dash binnacle, hopefully you can see, sorry, reflection there. 25,311 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus IS300 hybrid, and it's the Premier model. Car's registered HN13OMW. Mileage at the start of the road test is just 25,312 miles. The reason we do all of these videos is very simple indeed. It's to see, so any of our customers gets to see any car that we're advertising actually in operation. And we've always felt it important because, like far too many people, have been to see cars which have looked perfectly fine in photographs or description, but only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got an obvious fault that shows up. We also do it on these very quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire. This forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the hope is, of course, it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you go on a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, been very well looked after, and obviously with such a low mileage you can rightly expect it to drive nicely. And it does, it drives absolutely beautifully. Push the power button, engine starts, hybrid system whirs into life. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. And temperature gauge running just under half to a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be. For those who don't know, most do by this time, that this is what is now referred to as a self-charging hybrid. Basically, long and short of it means you're not going to plug it in, you don't run out of charge. All you're going to do is stop at a petrol station every few hundred miles, fill up with fuel, off you go again, and that's it. That's all there is to it. The battery charges itself up when you back off the throttle and hit the brake pedal, and it does it all for you. But what's genius is the way it all comes together. It is all but seamless. It is brilliantly done. The 2.5 engine is wonderfully smooth and quiet. But what I've always loved is the fact that, you know, this is the right use of a CVT gearbox, because that, and the fact that you generally at low speed you're going to be in EV mode, so your stop-start manoeuvres, your traffic jams, your reversing onto garages, driveways, it's just smooth, seamless, doesn't jar in any way. And of course, as you accelerate away, because there's no gear change, you don't get any lurching. It's just wonderfully smooth. You do with the system, it gives you 3 options actually. Generally it defaults to normal mode, which is kind of a halfway house between the others for petrol and for the engine rather, and the hybrid system. You've got a little button down here or knob, you can twist it to the left, and now in eco mode, and it does exactly what it says on the tin, because it's just going to be slightly slower, slightly softer, slightly more economical. You push a button down, you're back into normal mode, and if I twist it to the right, I go into sport mode, and if by magic a rev counter's appeared, I mean, it looks absolutely real. I mean, this is brilliant detailing, but straight away you feel the engine response is much more urgent, keener to go. I've owned numerous of these. I spent 99% of my time in normal mode. It seems perfectly good. Every now and again I'd flick it into sport, rarely into eco, but I've got lots of customers who do use eco a lot, especially around town, so it has its merits. The gearbox, as I mentioned before, incredibly tough and reliable, wonderful to use at all speeds. Ignore what the buffoons say on some YouTube videos where you shove your foot down, the engine flares up, and you know, if you drive like a hooligan, it will do that. So if you want to drive like that 100% of the time, it wouldn't be the car for you. But most normal human beings drive very smoothly. Put your foot down now, engine picks up, hear the engine revs, catch up with it to the speed you want to go, back off, and it's wonderfully smooth. It's those that know these cars, know how to drive them, and it's not that you have to learn it at all. It's second nature, because it's how most people drive a car, but it's beautifully done. Coming on to the steering and chassis, obviously being rear wheel drive, it's got lots of benefits, notably the steering. So you've got no drive shafts polluting, tugging away at the steering wheel. So they don't have to manufacture things in to kind of get rid of torque steer. So what you get is a much purer driving experience. And I've always said that the IS sits in a lovely position in the marketplace, because generally speaking, if you want something that handles as nicely as this, and it handles beautifully, the steering has a really crisp, precise, nicely weighted action to it, very accurate, and the suspension itself, it allows for a compliant ride. Only sort of the sharper bunches tend to catch it out, as you do any car, but not harsh in any way. But when you go through corners, it does so with a real eagerness, very flat, very little body motion, and the handling is, I'd say, 9/10 of what let's say a BMW 3 Series would give you, which I still rate as the best driver's car in this segment. But the payoff for the BMW is that for the other times you don't want to be driving fast and you want a bit of comfort, they can be quite harsh, unforgiving things. So you then look at other alternatives, you know, Audi, Mercedes. I'm looking at sort of prestige, well-made cars, but they're softer, they're less involving. That, in my opinion, slightly dull to drive, but that is it's a personal thing. That's why I think the Lexus sits beautifully in the middle, because it is so comfortable cruising along. It just wafts along really nicely, but when you are in the mood, it rewards as well. so it just obviously depends on what you want, but what it does brilliantly. Also worth pointing out, no clonks, rattles from underneath the car, everything's solid. Brakes are really nice on the car, powerful brake pedal, no pulsing or vibrations coming back through the pedal at all. This is all going to be checked, by the way. It's going through an independent MOT, hopefully later today. So yeah, we don't envisage anything. It's all in very good order. And then finally coming inside, lit up beautifully, but you've got the nice big sunroof there, and that adds a lot of natural light in. I love this sort of silver light leather interior. It's lovely. The contrast between that and the black dash and the little inserts in the doors just sits very nicely to the eye. Beautifully constructed, of course, and just a lovely place to sit. You know, it's much more interesting than lots of other cars in its class as well, which tend to conform to the same sort of, you know, layout. This isn't different for different sake. It works brilliantly well. The switch gear is of the highest quality. You've got sat nav mounted up nice and high, so for ease of use, all working perfectly there. Down below that, you've got a nice separately controlled air conditioning climate control system, which you can do on the screen as well, but to Lexus's credit, they separate the two. Again, pumps out ice cold air. You've got this wonderful Mark Levinson stereo, so if you like your music, it's a fantastic setup. That heated, vented seats, again, all working exactly as they should. But it's the detailing that I love. It's the little details. It's the analog clock, which when at night illuminates beautifully, soft on the eye, but everything has that very high quality look and feel to its actuation. And then the dash in front, crystal clear dials, beautifully detailed again, and finally this lovely leather bound steering wheel. The car drives absolutely beautifully, as you'd expect. Cannot fault it.